Hi YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I'm okay. It's raining here. I went out in the rain a little bit to bring the kitties some food, but yeah, it's pretty it's Doug's birthday and every single birthday I don't think I remember a day it wasn't raining or snowing on his birthday. And the day he was born, it was big flakes of snow. So, yeah, I don't know. Cold and rainy, damp. So, ouch. I can't take any aspirin even right now. I had another nosebleed last night, so yeah, it's getting a little serious, and I don't dare take an aspirin for it. So I'm gonna have to start looking into some natural things that might do something for me. I'm not sure. I don't know. No clue. I mean, I can get it to quit within about a minute or so just by tipping my head back, but it's just weird that it's happening again and some more in my life. It's like wow. I thought I was beyond that. So anyway. Yeah, it's like I say, kind of damp and miserable, and Doug was pretty happy. He had a bunch of people on Facebook wish him happy birthday and sing to him on there, write it. So he does that too to people. Sings happy birthday at him. So um, Scram, my cat, don't you do this again. You are not the boss. No, Darla, she's not. But she wants to be. Yeah, it's funny though. Cats are like that, aren't they? She's good. Yeah. Anyhow, I think she heard me mention her kids again. She has a problem with that. She will beat them up if they get too close to me in front of her. So, yeah. I watched, I'm glad I did. I'm getting caught up on some videos that I wanted to watch and didn't have time. And there's, I know his name isn't Dan, but his, uh, YouTube channel's name is the 13th Blood, or Tribe of Dan 13th Bloodline. Had, oh, okay. There's so many times that without paperwork that I read in my youth that there's no way I could show you how the lost tribes of Israel. I've said hundreds of times that they're called lost because they're lost, and that's what Dan is saying with the 13th bloodline, the one that is hidden. It's like, yeah, there's royalty out there, but there's this tribe that's also from the same royal bloodline that are hidden, and they're kept hidden on purpose. Well, good job for Tribe of Dan YouTube channel, 13th Bloodline. I'm going to put a link to a video that I watched about RH negative bloodline and everything. And I knew, and I thought, oh, I'm not really going to learn too much new. And I didn't. There's only one thing. I mean, he covered, if you want to follow your bloodline, he covered everything and will probably go more in depth too. Um, if you talk to him, he specifically might be able to answer some questions. I'm going to put that link, but I will add with the German and the Slavic bloodlines and even the Asian um, moving up into China, or I mean, Norway, and then coming back down, and with the French going into Switzerland, and there was little villages that of people that actually had their own language that weren't neither considered French or Swiss. and some other offspringings of different bloodlines. But anyway, the point being, he brings up the symbolization of it all, the family crests. I don't know if he's aware of when they would move to like the Americas, like if they used to have a red banner above their family crest, they might now have it changed to gold or green for money, or um, even like the crests would change with marriages and whatnot. But you can literally look at a lot of people's family crests and understand more of the migration of people. And he breaks that down so well and uses some other people's information too to really make the point and set the point. And um, all I got to say is if the dude's not a Mason, somebody in his family was like higher up on like Hindu Jesuit order or Rosicrucian or somebody, because this guy, and it's the truth. And then and you can literally see, like maybe with your grandparents name or whatever, who you are and where you came from, and maybe you come from royalty and are that lost tribe of Dan, you know, through your family lineage. So you never know. And we all come from the same place in the beginning anyway. But yeah. So hey, cat. She's back there scratching. Luckily, I know it's not flea time yet, otherwise, I'd be kind of creeped out. So, but yeah, that was a really, really good video. I had put another one that he had done. This top, I have my channel name is Bloodline because I have it all in here. It's just that I did not have the paperwork or the proof or the graphics to really make a point and explain that to people the way it needed to be done. So, yeah, things are being uncovered, and I think you'll find value in watching that, you know. And some things you probably already know, with the RH negative blood and whatever. And I don't think that's a criteria for having extra sensory perception or anything. But I think that they're more adept in those areas because they kept a lot of the knowledge away from the common people. They're slaves, because you sure wouldn't want your slaves thinking for themselves and being able to think towards each other, for each other, and communicating like that. So they've tried to keep that knowledge submissed from the people. I was just watching a Robin's Hood, and he had said, with the Georgia Guidestones, he's looking around at, everybody who they really are slaves, and, why would they kill their slaves? Because they want more technology and just enough humans to run that technology, because they call us worthless eaters and they want to own and possess everything on this planet. And if the multitudes of people ever rose in unison, they would be totally screwed. That's why. So, yeah, I believe they have every intent of trying to destroy the human race, except for the ones that they have selected. So, which will probably turn out to be like second and even third cousins that may get a job in the post office or something, running machinery or something, when when their first cousin is like in the White House or something like that. And if anybody else does survive, you either conform to their smart city and they're getting a implanted or tattoo barcode so you have your own identity and you know can communicate in the world like that, or you just won't be able to. So that's their plans. I mean, like I was talking before, they say like 30% of our fertilizer comes from the Ukraine, and that's not going to be able to get into the United States. But yet they're killing off all kinds of animals, manure producing animals, and buying up land and not farming it, and literally killing off large flocks of birds with the fake avian flu that they're saying that they've gotten in big companies like Jenny O here in Minnesota. They've been caught doing shady things before, and I would say, just like I did with any of them businesses closing, they don't care because they're going to either get a kickback from the state for closing, some kind of tax write-off through all this, or there's some other kind of dividend that they're going to get for screwing the people over. So one way or another, they're cutting off the food supplies, and from what I understand, it's going on all over the world. It's not just because of this war. These things were going on like because of the pandemic, ships sitting out in the harbor, truckers waiting in the ports, just waiting so workers could either be vaxxed or masked and get the supplies off the ships into the trucks. And we all know that was ridiculous, you know. So they could have been like and I'll make another point on that too, but they could have been like, anybody that wants to work, whether you have to wear a mask or not, here's a job. And there would have been floods, hundreds of people that would have, even day labor, they could have initiated day labor in all them cities. And even if it was druggies, man, they'd get that job done so they could go buy some dope, you know? So, yeah, they could have got the goods out. But then when they got the goods out, and it's just like with the paper money, although we all know if we put money in our pockets and wash it, it's still washable. So, and yes, you can sanitize money, but they'll say that germs can be on money, but everything you buy from every other country has been handled and touched by multitudes of human beings by the time you get it. You know, same with the money. And if anything was so uncontainable, that deadly, it would have wiped out planet Earth centuries ago. It's nothing new. There are no new germs in this world. It's still the common cold that they can't figure out or cure. That's what it is. It's nothing more, nothing less. That they used to call the flu. They used to call the flu was an upset stomach and a fever. A cold was congestion and a cough and a sore throat. Now they've combined the whole thing to call it yuck. And it's all a big fabricated bunch of baloney. So yeah. So oh yeah, they have every intention of trying to take out multitudes of people any way they can, whether it be by stress or fear, or if they can keep your vibration low enough and keep you make keeping you believing that they have some kind of superiority over you, then if the next generations don't wise up to that fact, they'll either be running machines for the elite or they'll be living out in the woods or the desert, wherever you are, you know. So comply or die. Mark my words. We're not waiting for Satan to be in charge. That purple rain, that Phoenician purple, red blood rain, when you mix red and blue, red, white, and blue, and you get that Phoenician color, all these things, it's not a hidden thing, you know. And then I've told people too, like Viking, the Minnesota Vikings, and the Twin Cities, and little things that um people really aren't aware of the meaning of, like the V and the completion with 2 of 10 being a complete number with the fives. And if you put 2 V's together, you have a W. And in this system, if you have a W, that indicates 2 female sheep, whereas there's the Father and the Son in the spiritual realm. Mother Earth has her own thing going on, but it isn't gay, you know, just the way people operate too. Um, like women should be more down to earth and connected with the resources in the world and the care of her family, and that type of thing should be just kind of instinctual in her. And the man should be spiritually in touch with his father, like in his image, like that, and be able to just like here's a very big deal, like your soul family or soul mate or something, not necessarily always being a lover, but a best friend or somebody that just gets you. I mean, when you don't have to go out of your way to explain something to somebody, but yet you have people in your life that may belittle your way of thinking. Well, find your people. Those aren't your people then, like that memes say, like that. That's so true. It's really refreshing to talk to people out here that just get me with no argument or no shenanigans in the mix or nothing. Just, hey, like, yeah, I feel the same way, sister, that type of thing. Because we just get each other like that, you know. That's soulmate. That's on a soul level family. That's real. You know, so like I say, going back to the people that have a conflict with you when you're walking upright. I put this morning on Facebook. The ones the ones that aren't walking upright will always think you are crooked. And that's true. They do. They'll look at you like you're just lopsided, but they don't understand that they're like crumpled on the ground looking at you from an angle, and their sight isn't clear because of the position they're in. Assume the position, boy. Mama's driving well. Oh, whoa. But yeah, really. Sorry, gentlemen. and ladies. Cheers. Oh, I embarrass myself. Is that good? I did. Yeah, I do that once in a while. Yeah. Okay. I gotta let that go for a second. I know that must not have been me. That had to have been God. That could not be me. you know. So would God do something like that? Or I mean say something like that? Well, maybe both. I don't know. you never know in this crazy world, right? To wake up someday to have some stranger standing next to your bed, but it's God. Are you ready? Let's get out of here. I'm from the land down under. Yeah, the heart of the earth. The actual atom. Yeah. So a guy came over today, wanted to look at one of Doug's new friends. Seems to be, I don't know, I haven't talked to him, but from what Doug says, he's and a neighbor about 5 miles away. Seems to be a decent human being. Wants to trade some cash and some wood for our dump truck. So they were out there, and then he likes a little white Dodge short box that we have, and he wants that. And Doug goes, and he wants that, and he's seen the look on my face, and he goes somewhere down the line. I didn't say a word. I'm not. That was enough said right there. Yeah. So anyway, just about anything else doesn't matter. We even have a short box. Or do we still have that? No, we don't. Anyway, so forget that. Yeah, I had to think for a minute. We did have a '53 short box Ford on airbags that would raise and lower, and we've had a few like low riders and stuff like that. So, but that one was pretty neat. I think that's what we traded for. Yes, that's what we traded for our VW bug because the bug is worth more. So I don't know. Well, it will get good gas mileage even though it's got a 400 cubic motor in it. I do believe. Um, but yeah, it'll still because it's light, you know. But it's not really for driving. We're just kind of caretakering it until somebody's really going to love it and then just want to drive it on special occasions or something like parades or a summer drive or something like that because it's not a daily driver. I mean, just the paint job alone is worth more than a lot of vehicles, and the interior's done. It's got a roll bar in there and all leather and a naga hide and I think it's a ebony dash and steering wheel. So maybe walnut, but pretty precious, all handmade, and so yeah, it's nice. It's a nice car. So, what's your weather like? Do you have any sunshine? And if you do, I'm really interested what them sunspots are looking like that are facing us right now today. And it does feel weird in the atmosphere. It's I don't know, and that looks like if those there's three major ones and a few ones in between there. If those just started all bubbling together, like a big chunk of the sun could just go flying off and we would cease to exist in about 2 days. That's a nice thought. I could leave you on that note, but I won't. I'll stick around with you if that happens. I don't have a choice. Yeah. So, of course, I'm celebrating 420. I haven't always, but kinda I am, sorta. I thought about making Doug a cake, but we have candy, and if he had wanted one, he would have got something. And yeah, I don't do a whole lot because, if I went even a month without any display from the dark force, I might be a little nicer, but it would have to be a very long time, you know. But I do think maybe good friends in Doug's life might help, but that's just a maybe. And we were talking about that last night too. He thinks that this guy might be he might be able to. It's not that Doug needs to learn anything from somebody, but to actually see um strong-minded men with God in their heart that will not back down, cave, or go into satanic rages or any of that baloney and hold their own. And now, it's not like Doug's gonna turn on the power demon on this dude right away. And if he's dealing with him, he isn't gonna power demon his ass anyway. So the guy may not ever know the depth of what Doug is and what he does. So, you know, but I usually tell them when I meet people, I just tell them, right in front of Doug. So then they can be aware of things and then they can take it from there, you know. So, oh yeah, I warn them. I warn people, you know, or just come right out and intervene if I have to. There's been times where I've done that. Like, oh no, you're not doing this to this guy. Just not. No. It's not happening. you know. So, trials and tribulations, but not my trials. Just tumultuous times, you know. So, hey, if I needed to learn a lesson, I gladly accept it and grow the fuck up after I learnt my lesson too and not make the same mistake, you know. So, and I shared a Eminem song. There's one part of it where his lyrics say that he's homophobic, and he's like, not this or not that. And I'm not homophobic. I'm not scared of somebody that wants to sleep with the same sex. I just don't want you around my family, you know? And if you come on to me, I'm going to probably, if you touch me, I will break your hand. That's not homophobic. That's no phobia at all. That's just knowing what I want in my life and standing up and telling everybody this is what I expect and this is how God rolls. And if you don't, I'm not saying God doesn't love everybody because that would not be true. You know, just like if I've had to put a dog down, a wolf, because it was thinking about killing my kid. I loved my dog, but I had to put it down, you know. So I guess that sort of explains it all. I didn't just go and get a wolf. I was taking care of somebody's animals for them. And when they had a puppy, I took one. But and he owed me so much money it wasn't even funny, and I wanted a dog, and I did love the wolves, and by myself it would have probably been a good choice, but around mean um men it wasn't a good thing. It's just like I can talk to my woodchuck, but if somebody else came to the window it would run, it's that type of thing. It's like, yeah, I am one with the animals. I really, really am good around animals. So, all kinds of them. So, it says how Christ rode into Bethlehem on a colt that had never had a saddle or a blanket on it, a donkey. I out in Montana trained a spotted ass. They're donkeys. Um, Montana spotted ass is what they're called, but they're a breed of donkey. And this little Jack is what they're called. Not jackass, but um, the boy, Jackson Jills. And that was really fun to work with. I trained it for a little boy, and the little boy was about, I think, 5 or 6. And by the time I got through saddle breaking and bridle training, this little thing, and they look so cute. He looked so cute on that donkey when I was done. And the mama was she was a really good girl, and she was sort of ignored, and I felt sorry for her. And I really felt sorry taking her baby away from her too and working with it because she was really upset. That was not cool, but I was working on a ranch. I didn't have a choice. It was my job. But, and I might have done that on my own. It had it been my own animals, but she was out in a pasture. I would have, I don't know, I probably would have worked with the full more out in the pasture before I brought it in and started working it in the yard, because then it could have been around its mama more at first, like with the bridle and everything. But I don't know. People do things different, I guess. However, their heritage, they were full-blooded Germans. I worked for 3 ranchers out in Montana that were full-blooded German, and they have a way about them that's really strict, and the way they do things, and they're successful. So very successful. So, well, I'm gonna let you go before I run out of time. I don't know. I did deep clean it, but just in case, and shooting the breeze with you all. And I'll see you tomorrow, I'm pretty sure. Have a really good night or day wherever you're at. I love you. Thank you for joining me. Peace, everybody.